If you want to get good with any animation in Blender, you're going to have to learn this one thing, the graph editor. At first glance, the graph editor looks really complicated, and it sort of is. But hopefully this video is a nice introduction to the graph editor so you can use it in your next renders. So in your normal Blender view here, we have the dope sheet under here, and if you want to change it to the graph editor, all you have to do is press Control Tab. But first we need some keyframes. So there's a really cool thing here, it's called auto keyframes. So basically you just press here, and then you move it to your desired location. So I'm just gonna keep it like that. I'm just gonna move it a little bit. So then its animation keyframe is automatically set. So then I can move it to like there, move it there, there, move it up there, and there, move it down there. And it's all keyframed automatically, so I don't have to put any keyframes in. But if you would like to do it manually, you can press I, and then you can do location, rotation, scale, and all these. So to get to the graph editor, as I said before, you just have to press Control Tab, and then if you click on the object, you can see the animation, the path of the animation. So basically, these mean like I'm just gonna move that up a bit. The 5 and the -5 on this side mean the amount. So for example, 5 meters and stuff like that. And the top numbers mean the frames. So for example, you can see on the Y movement, it goes to the end here, and then it goes then it peaks, and then it goes back to it's just a little bit above the starting point. So if you'd like to get some better animation, you can, first of all, I'm just gonna only focus on this Y animation. So you can just press the lock, and if you'd like to select all the keyframes, all you have to do is press A after everything's locked, after everything except for your thing is locked, so you can just edit that one thing. So if for example, if I want to just make it or like that, I just have to nothing else gets touched by when I scale it. So if you want to change it, you can go from interpolation type, and you can do constant, which is where it just constantly moves on the Y, or it automatically moves on the Y. Then you also have linear, and then you also have Bezier, and this one is probably the most used one. So usually, and also there's also sinusoidal, quadratic, cubic, quartic, quintic, exponential, circular, and then some dynamic effects. But I'll show you an example of all of them now. So when you edit the graph, all you have to do is you can use regular movement keys. So for example, G to move it. You can move it on one axis. For example, G and Y. G and X, SX to scale it, so you can make it more of a curve, which is usually what you'd want. You'd want it to be something that's called an S curve, where it just starts off slow, moves fast, and then slows down. So you can see how that's sort of like an S, sort of. And you just edit that, and you can also change it, all of them. So if you want to make it immediately go down, and you can also change it from a couple. So for example, if you select these two keyframes, and you can press interpolation type linear, and then it goes from a Bezier curve into a linear one. So you can do this with all the other ones. I'm just unlock the X and that. So you're able to manipulate how they move, like the speed of how they move in the animation, just by using the graph editor. And this can be used for practically anything. If you wanted to, you can also add in an armature. So let me just make a quick model. You can also do with let me just there. You can also edit the armature so that it moves, and then you're able to also edit graph of it. So if you just click that button, you're also able to scale and stuff like that. So you can make it. So you can do this with even a camera, with lighting, with everything that you're able to animate. You can change it in the graph editor just to make it either smoother, sharper, faster, slower, whatever you'd like. You can also change how far. So before when I said, let me just delete that. So remember how before I said that these were like the meters? If you wanted to, you could also change how high the animation. For example, like you change the distance of the animation. This also works for rotation as well, but I'm just doing location right now. So if you wanted to only go to a smaller point, because before I was going to here, all I have to do is just move it down on the y-axis, or move it down on the y-axis, and then it goes to a closer location to the original point. And as well as rotation, you can change it. So if you wanted to, you can have it like, I'm just delete all the keyframes. There's just and also just see if you wanted to with the rotation, you can make it so that it rotates faster, or you can make it so that it rotates earlier in the animation by bringing it closer to here. So I just there, and then also you have these ones. So if you wanted to, you can make some really cool effects here with just the graph editor. So also there's that if you wanted to. And there's also different easing types. So you can have automatic ease in, or automatic ease in, and you can also have ease in, ease out, ease in and out. And I'll show you what all they look like now. And I think that's practically all that I wanted in this video. You can also do this with materials as well. So let me just quickly do a noise texture. Let me just plug this in there. Nothing too special. So you can set a keyframe of it, and then move to a different keyframe, and then move it, and then set it. And then in the graph editor, you can also change the way that it moves. So if you just bring up here, you go to graph editor here, you should, if you just select the material, then there's, let me just then you see you can move it. So if you wanted to, you can also like that, and also you can do the exact same interpolation types and everything like that. So I thought that was all for this video.